Hello and welcome to Uncommon Drops. My name's True, and today I'm joined by my good friend AJ. What's up?
What's going on?
The two of us are here today to talk about today's Xbox event and talk about all the announcements and all the things that they shared with us today. So, might as well get started. Am I right?
Jump right in. Let's do it. That's the Xbox motto, right? Jump in. Let's do it.
So this was a really interesting event. This happened in Mexico City. I just kind of want to talk about this before we got into the details of it. But the crowd was very engaged. I feel like throughout the conference,
They were hyped.
They were really excited.
they made me want to be there. I was like, damn, like I should try to make my way out there. That shit was hype.
I think one of my favorite my favorite moments from the conference outside of the games and stuff was the Kingdom Hearts director had told the crowd to calm down a little bit so he could announce his game.
Calm down a little bit, yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good.
That was cool. People were just excited, man. It was just cool to see the energy, and it didn't feel like it felt like genuine energy. It didn't feel like like that kind of like that fake like trying to get them to be excited. No, these people were like genuinely hyped to be there and like fans of Xbox and the community, the software, hardware, everything. So like to feel their energy kind of like added this extra level of like hypeness to all the announcements and stuff like that. So it was just cool, man. And it looks like a good time, and it definitely made you feel like you wanted to be there,
Yeah, and I really liked the studio setup. It seemed a little crowded in, but it felt very cozy. It looked like it felt very cozy. All right,
for sure.
Let's go ahead and hop right into this. It was in Mexico City, and they announced a bunch of new games that are coming to Game Pass. They've announced 2 studios that they've picked up, and just a bunch of extra details on some games that are be coming out to the Xbox. So let's go ahead and get started with the big news. The showstopper is that Microsoft Studios not only picked up Obsidian like they were rumored to be picking up, but they also surprisingly picked up inXile Studios or inXile Entertainment as well, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how. We can start with, I guess, Obsidian, since it's something that's been in the news. So Obsidian is known for games such as Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, and most specifically, I think the biggest thing that they're known for is Fallout New Vegas, which a lot of people say is their favorite Fallout game. The one that I'm probably the most familiar with, South Park: The Stick of Truth, and then one of the more recent games, Pillars of Eternity.
Yep.
So
this is one, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just going to ask you what your thoughts on it were, but it sounds like you're already hopping into it, so go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm hyped, man. So, this has been rumored a while, and I think by the time of the show, everyone pretty much knew, right? Like they're just kind of waiting on that official. Like, yep, we did get them. So, that was just cool to get that like official announcement and feel the energy of the crowd, kind of getting hyped behind it. And it's just incredible that. We knew they weren't done acquiring studios. I think Phil around E3 was like, "Hey, we're not done yet. We still got a couple more in the works." So it's just crazy, man, to see them get more studios. Obsidian, I think it's when you look at the complete package, they have these studios that cover such a nice range of genres. And so today was kind of like that like RPG day, So Obsidian's cool, and I'm very eager to kind of see what they will put out, especially doing games like Pillars of Eternity, Fallout New Vegas, and now they have the backing of the giant Microsoft, and I'm excited just to kind of see what they do. I think it was definitely a good move. I don't think any of their studio acquisitions was a bad move for anything they've grabbed so far. So I think it's a good decision, and time will tell to see what they put out.
Yeah, I'm super excited because So I wanted to make sure before I said it, but they also released the recent Tyranny, which is one of those big RPGs that I really wanted to get into, but I just didn't quite have the time to delve into. I guess my big hope for this is that some of these more recent releases, like I don't think Tyranny is on the Xbox, but that'd be really cool. But that's one of those traditional isometric RPGs, so that might be difficult to convert into the Xbox. Yeah.
Is it I'm not familiar with the game. Is it just because it's a mouse and keyboard thing? Because we got that now, so.
It's true. We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my big hope is that there's a lot of Obsidian games that I'd always want to play but never quite did. Hopefully acquiring them makes it a little bit easier to get some of those games. Although looking through it, some of those games look like they were like licensed games, so maybe not all of them will make it, but a few of them would be Really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And the second one, which was a shock to me because I didn't even know about this. I don't think there was any hints
No one
towards
did.
this acquisition. But they also picked up NXL Entertainment, which is another like big PC RPG company. And their more famous titles are the Wasteland series, Torment, Tides of Numenera, and then the recent release of Bard's Tale 4. What is your history with NXL Entertainment?
I have no history with them, so I am familiar with like Bard's Tale and those sorts of games, but I've just never played anything from them. So, having the opportunity to play them on the Xbox would be cool, and then just any kind of new things that they create from the acquisition and Microsoft backing will be cool to see. But yeah, I've never played any of their games, but I'm still excited to kind of see them, partner with Microsoft and see what happens with the relationship. Well, what will be the fruits of that relationship going forward.
Yeah, like I'm really feeling like getting into a new RPG, and I realize that these probably won't be for a long time that these games will come out.
Right.
But just the thought of like Microsoft acquiring these gigantic or like these big name RPG companies back to back, it's just like, okay, Microsoft, you got quite a list of studios. I think you have the list up. Why don't you tell us like the list of all the Microsoft studios that we've got?
Yeah, man. So let's run through this now. So what I think it was like something like 13 studios. So these are all the Microsoft studios that have been acquired. Kind of the whole gambit. So we got of course 343 Industries. What they do, Halo and stuff. The Coalition, those are the Gears guys. Got Turn 10. They do the Forza Motorsport series. Rare, Sea of Thieves. Then we got I actually can't see it that good on this particular image. Global, was that one of the new ones?
No, I think everything on the second row was the new ones. Let me.
Okay, so you got Global Publishing. I'm not familiar with what they do. Might have to pull that one up. While you're searching that, I'll keep moving along. So of course you got Minecraft. The Initiative was one of the new ones that were formed. Undead Labs, those are State of Decay guys. Playground Games, the Forza Horizon guys. Ninja Theory, best known for Hellblade right now. It's a hot new great game. Compulsion Games, I think those are the We Happy Few guys, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And then we got NXL, was the new one we just talked about, and of course Obsidian. So let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 Microsoft studios, man, and what half of those were acquired just this year. So that's pretty impressive. That's insane. I think that just really shows Microsoft's dedication. Ever since Phil took over, he listens to the community, right? Like he understands. People are like, "Hey, we want more exclusive titles. We want more, single player and as well as unique multiplayer games that can only be found on, the Xbox and Windows platforms." So it's cool that they're listening and they're like kind of saying, "Hey, this is what's going on. We're working on it." They've been saying that for a while, right? It's that we're working on it, and I think this is finally that moment where it's like, okay, you guys really are working on it, and you're kind of not fucking around. So it's just cool to see that whole list.
So kind of looking into it, looks like Global Publishing, they just help publish like the second party games like Ori, Rise,
Okay.
Sunset, and Crackdown.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
So I guess they give that extra bit of
Fair
support to push those games over the edge, even though they're not like made by Microsoft Studios.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and then the thing we were talking about before we got on here is that they're really gearing up for the next system launch, getting all those games now. I mean, all these studios now. I would see at least 3 years before we see these games start to come out. I mean, Undead Labs is still working on their stuff. Playground Games is still working on like their current game, but these other, I mean, we could be looking at like 12 first party games at launch, and Minecraft, I guess.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the way it's gonna definitely be like a trickle effect, right? Because a lot of these people were already working on stuff like, Rare just put out Sea of Thieves, Undead Labs just put out State of Decay, Playground Games, and then the Coalition, Gears 5 is coming out next year, and then here for 3, they got the Halo Infinite that they're working on. So it seems like for a lot of these, either something just came out or it's coming out next year. So I think we will see a steady release of games, and I'm sure the Microsoft is trying to like strategically place a lot of releases. So maybe some of these companies are working on like smaller games. Maybe there's certain companies. It's like hey, it only take 2 years to make a smaller game versus, the initiative, which might take 4 or 5 years to make just some like, mega, just ridiculously massive game. You know what I mean?
I don't know. This is just, I guess, as a fan of the genre and of Microsoft in general, I guess, what I want to see is, all right, here's a new Xbox, 7 brand new fucking games right here, launch, Xbox Game Pass, all of it.
I can definitely see Xbox Game Pass. I don't know about the number there. 7 seems like such a massive number at the launch of a system. That's a huge number because a lot of times it's like, it's accompanied by third-party releases, so they kind of don't go too heavy on the first party. But man, if they did some crazy number, like even five first-party titles at the launch of Scarlet, like, and then okay, so here's the next question, right? Like, how would you really label that? Are these 5 games going to come out at the launch of the system, or are these games that are coming out earlier that year that still had Scarlet as the lead platform, but released on the One X, One S first? Are we still going to call those launch titles, or are they not? You know what I mean? So that's another question. It's kind of the release windows and what will really be deemed a launch title. Like this game is coming out the exact same day the Scarlet releases. So I think that would be an interesting thing as well because it's not it's no longer going to be these new generations are completely different, right? It's no longer you have to have like when Xbox One and PS4 came out, right? It's like you have to buy this system to play this game. But I think the days of that are long gone. Now it's and you can get this system, but it's also coming out on One X, One S, right? So is it as important to say like, well, this is this game is coming out the exact same day as the system, or will it still be fine to say, well, this comes out a month before the system, but of course it will look the best system, kind of like a One X type thing.
I could see that happening. And I'm obviously that's not going to happen. Most likely these would come out 1 month apart. If they were going to come out in the same window, they would be coming out they would come out like spread apart. They want 7 games to drop, and then like one of those games just doesn't get played because the other 6 are like bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Games.
Yep.
But it would be a cool move for them to do that. But yeah, I see them developing towards the Scarlet, like you said, and that is a lot of good games. It's 2 RPG studios. 2 studios that like got really into like their story, Ninja Theory and Compulsion. People seem to really enjoy the stories of those. Initiative, which was that former Crystal Dynamics developers.
Yeah, I believe that is the Initiative is made up of some of those guys, and then some other people. I can't place them right now, but there's been a lot of people who come from a lot of different like big studios that have gone over there. I don't have a list in front of me, but I know there's some heavy hitters under the Initiative. So whatever they work on, it's gonna be fucking massive.
Hopefully, and that's a nice little pocket that Microsoft's got, putting all this money in all these studios, just like drop of the hat.
Yeah, and it's cool because like I said earlier, it covers that they it's like they're covering all genres. And I know at the show they didn't really that Microsoft Studios had kind of said we're not really looking at it that way, but if you look at it, it's kind of how it is, right? Like they have a studio kind of that covers the genre of something, racing, RPG, shooters, the community multiplayer games, the small, kind of indie devs that kind of work on those creative, unique narratives or systems or mechanics. So their range is impressive. Like it's gonna be wild, man. Seeing so much unique stuff potentially come from Microsoft Studios. So it'll be cool. The fans will finally get what they wanted for a while, and that's a more wider range of exclusives than kind of the same exclusives that we've always got, which they're not bad, but we just want more, right?
Yeah, I mean, my personal thoughts. I've fallen off of Halo a few Halos ago. I'm still really into Gears, so Gears 5. I feel like I'd be into Gears again when that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Halo Infinite, well, I guess it depends. I like the artistic throwback. It looks like it's trying to get back to some of the older style, so.
Going back to the roots.
I'm okay with that.
That's what everything does nowadays, right?
What? So people like, right? It. So.
Nostalgia rules.
Nostalgia rules. King. All right, well, we have a long list of things, so let's continue marching along. The next big one is that Crackdown 3 now has a release date of February 15th. Will be coming out on Xbox Game Pass for Xbox One and Windows 10 at launch. And they introduced a new multiplayer mode, which is called the Wrecking Zone. Which
Wrecking Zone, yes.
Is like, I don't remember how many players it is, but
I believe it's 5v5.
so it's 5v5, and it looks like the map is completely destroyable with all that Azure cloud-based destruction that they were saying this game was going to have. And I was very skeptical about how it would actually work, but from what today's video showed, it actually looks really
real.
Cool. It actually looks really cool.
It's actually real.
I got to be honest. Well, like however long ago we heard Crackdown 3, I was like, yeah, right, cloud-based destruction. Get out of here with that. But
that's a fantasy, right? That's some tech demo shit.
Yeah. So you're just saying that. It's not like the same, but the Wrecking Zone stuff actually looks really cool.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, like, I was just, like, I even sent you that text message. Right? I was like, bro, like, cloud shit is actually real. And, it was just crazy to actually see it in action. And, like, I had actual gameplay of this, just pure destruction, people running through walls, destroying entire buildings, and they had all the physics there, so if something fell and hit something else, it was reacting, and it was just like this is pretty impressive, and it's all on the Azure servers, and so they I don't know if you noticed it, they really expressed that point of this runs on any Xbox, so whatever Xbox you're playing on, you will get this level of destruction because it's all cloud. I'm like, man, that is freaking cool, man. That's the future. That is the future right there.
And the thing that I was worried the most about it is like, well, what happens when they disconnect the servers to this and then that doesn't work? But it seems like with the direction that Microsoft's going with Game Pass and then the back compat stuff, it seems like games might not actually die anymore.
I don't think they will. And I think Phil's expressed that, right? Like, everything will always be like in that Xbox family, especially with them reaching all the way back to Xbox original until you could play those games. I think moving forward, like, no one should ever have to worry about losing the ability to game, especially with the way platforms work now. Like, and I think it's just going to get easier for systems, even like 15 years from now, to still be able to play like that Xbox One game you bought.
Which is really cool. So I could see this actually working out as long as Microsoft has money, and I don't see them losing money anytime soon. So that will be coming out on February 15th, as well as like 20 other games in the same time frame. And then,
one thing I did want to mention about that Crackdown 3 too.
Okay.
The focus was on multiplayer today, but he did have that kind of offhand comment saying that the campaign was like traditional Crackdown, like you remembered. And I even saw like a screenshot somewhere online that the stats page. So if you've ever gone on the Xbox and looked at your like achievements page, they usually have stats on there for games to track stuff. And someone saw the Crackdown 3 page, and some of the stats were like agility orbs collected and stuff like that. So it looks like the campaign will have that traditional Crackdown feel, and I'll definitely look forward to seeing more of that, especially that little Terry Crews ad they had for Crackdown. Actually, the multiplayer was actually introduced, so that was pretty cool.
That's pretty good. I like Terry Crews in pretty much anything he's in, so yeah, the ad was pretty good. So I guess that's good news. My favorite part of Crackdown 1 was collecting agility orbs, so glad that's coming back.
That's all about. That addictive, man. That's that addictive feature of that game. It's like, man, I gotta keep collecting so I get faster and can jump higher, all that shit. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But after seeing this and kind of seeing some campaign clips before and kind of them talking about it and seeming like they're getting more confident about it, it makes me, I'm getting a little bit more excited about it. Because before I probably just didn't really care, but now I'm actually like, oh man, I'm actually kind of excited for Crackdown.
I feel like they've gone through multiple versions of this game, right? Like at a point of time, they didn't even have Terry Crews, and he appeared in an advertisement. And I think people got really excited about that, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we should put Terry Crews in the game." And now he is. And didn't seem like people were too happy about the initial gameplay, so they're like, "All right, well, let's push it back and let's make the gameplay more interesting." So it looks good, and I'm excited for it. I did not play Crackdown 2 at all, and I played the shit out of Crackdown 1. And speaking of that, you can get Crackdown for free until November 30th, and it's Xbox One X enhanced. So make sure you pick that up before November 30th. I should probably pick that up. Oh, I didn't realize it was only till November 30th. Okay. Next, and this part's going to be kind of hard because, man, these games move through quick. But they announced like a bunch of games coming out to Xbox Game Pass. So leading up to it, they're like, oh, watch out. We're going to be releasing like 16 games on Game Pass. It's like, okay. So they announced the 16. I think I'll just announce them all, and we'll talk about ones that stand out. We'll kind of separate which one was it? Void Bastards, because that one actually had like a decent sized trailer. So
let's do it.
Okay, so starting on November 12th, you can pick up PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds in Xbox Game Pass. Oh, and before I forget to mention, you can get the first month of Game Pass for $1 if you sign up now, and until January 3rd.
Sign up.
I mean, I've been subscribed to it for a few months. I think it's a pretty good deal. I actually downloaded like 5 games from there today. I don't know if I'll play them, but they are now downloaded in case I decide to go to it. Okay, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, November 12th. And today, Thief of Thieves is going to be available on Xbox One and Game Pass. And you'll have to remind me what that is, because I actually don't remember what that is.
Ooh, Thief of Thieves, man. That was, which game was that? I remember it had some sort of stealth component, but I can't remember exactly what type of gameplay that one had. Let me see if I can get it pulled up here while you're running through the other ones.
I feel like if you looked away from the screen for even a minute, you would miss complete sections of the Game Pass, because they announced them like they were like essentially
it was
like
pretty fast.
They were TV spots essentially. Oh, here's this. We're announcing 3 more games. Bam, bam, bam. Like, oh, okay, I missed it. All right. Agents Mayhem, which is that Saints Row sequel-ish, or it's made by the same guys as Saints Row. I was super excited for that because it looked like it was going to be more Saints Row, but then it turned out to be single player, and I was like, that's not how I play Saints Row, so I didn't pick it up. But that, Motocross GP3, and Thomas Was Alone will be coming out November 22nd. I played Thomas Was Alone.
I
didn't finish it. I really enjoyed it.
Real quick, but Thief of Thieves. Going back, I just pulled it up real quick. Looks like it's a stealth based game based on a comic book series.
Oh,
very comic book style visuals. Looks like it has a very good narrative. Looks like it has a lot of story choices. So a stealth game with graphic novel visuals and player choice. Looks like it's pretty interesting. So that's what that one's all about.
Okay.
Carry on.
Coming out free. Well, it's actually out, so
there you go. Game Pass.
I should probably download it. Okay. In December, we will be getting Ori and the Blind Forest, Kingdom 2 Crowns, and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh man, all of those games. Well, I haven't played Kingdom 2 Crowns, but definitely Ori and the Blind Forest and Hellblade, 2 fantastic games. Hellblade, definitely one of the most unique and best looking games I've played. That's just all around. It's just an experience, man. Hellblade. I'm glad it's come to Game Pass, so more people can actually try it out who might have kind of been wary of actually paying to buy it. But this is cool that everyone will get a chance to actually download it for free if they have Game Pass and give that game a shot. Because damn, it's a good game.
I'm like right at the end of that game and I haven't finished it. I don't know why. I need to just sit down and finish it. I have it on the PC. I'd be really interested in seeing how well it runs on the One X. So part of me is like, maybe I should wait, but I get much better audio quality from my PC as opposed to streaming my Xbox to my PC. So I might just finish that on PC. But yeah, you should definitely check that out. And this gives me an opportunity to try Ori and the Blind Forest, which I also never got a chance to play.
Another great game, man. Another great game.
Okay. They also announced a bunch of new games that are coming to Game Pass through the ID at Xbox program. And I had mentioned before, that was the part I was most excited about because I really love these indie titles. So we are going to be getting, as they start coming out through the holidays, Aftercharge, Supermarket Shriek, Mutant Year Zero, Pathologic 2, The Good Life, Void Bastards, and Secret Neighbor.
Yeah, that's a roster right there, man. A lot of very unique games. The Good Life seemed pretty interesting, as well as the quirkiness of Supermarket Shriek. It's just so random. People come up with these random games, but it looked interesting. And then Pathological. I do like the survival thriller horror type games, so I'm definitely check out Pathological 2. Never played whatever Pathological 1 is, but I'll check out the second one. It's part of Game Pass.
So, for those of you that do not know what The Good Life is, it is the new RPG being developed by Swery, and it is a game where you come to this town, and then I believe at night you turn into a cat.
Yep, that's pretty much sums up that trailer.
It just looks bizarre. It looks awesome.
Very interesting. And it said, I don't really know all the mechanics, but saying, you're trying to make a living, like you're like a photographer, so you're like taking pictures and stuff like that. It looked interesting. I was on board.
I believe you're trying to solve the mystery of this town. You play as the main character named Naomi. In order to pay off her debt, she took a job from a newspaper company in New York and moved to the happiest town in the world. This game chronicles all the bizarre things she experiences during her time in the town, like the fact that at night everyone in the town turns into cats and dogs once a month.
That's so random.
This is such a
Like
bizarre
some
game.
kitty version of like a Cthulhu story or something.
So, yeah, those look really good. And then Void Bastards, the trailer that they showed for that looked really good and looked like a game that I will invest lots of time into.
Yeah, I did like the art style of Boy Bastards for sure. And he mentioned developed by one of the creators. I don't know which BioShock, but that was cool. I think all the BioShocks are pretty cool. So whichever one the guy came from, that's pretty sweet.
Trying to say Jonathan Shea, who was one of the co-founders of Irrational.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I just like it because it looks like Borderlands mixed with FTL, and that's just the vibe I got from it. And I'm like super into that. And then
yeah, cool vibe. Did we mention that the sequel to Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming
and then
out?
that's the last part of this little
soon?
section. Ori and the Will of the Wisps will be available on Xbox Game Pass when it releases in 2019.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. That's so crazy. Like getting new releases on Game Pass is so cool, though.
It still shocks me that I spend any money on video games because I got Forza for free, and I'm gonna get Crackdown for free, and I'm gonna get Ori for free, and
Gears
all
5 for
the
free.
games I want to play are like coming out for free. But yet I bought Red Dead and all these other games. I don't know why. Why do I do those things?
It's crazy, man. It's such a crazy deal, man. They had I mean, at a point you're like, man, how massive is this Game Pass catalog gonna actually get? Like, it's added 16 titles today. I know titles kind of cycle out, but they don't cycle out that quick. So to have like another 16 and already massive catalog is just kind of impressive. And I think you mentioned this when we were talking earlier. Like, they must be doing pretty well with Game Pass sales to be able to have such a massive catalog to offer.
Yeah, and holy shit, that entire show was just a gigantic advertisement for Xbox Game Pass.
Pretty much.
Which, I mean, it's cool because I don't know, as someone who has that extra amount of money to just throw around, you know, it's a pretty good deal. And if you're going to get even one of these games a year, it's worth it.
Yep.
I don't know. Or is it two? I can't remember how the math worked out. One?
What's it, $10 a month, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
so then if you get two games, then it would even out.
Yep.
Also, I never would have played State of Decay 2 unless it was free, and I really enjoyed that game. So
yeah, that game was cool. That game was fun. I don't think I beat it as many times as you did, but it was a cool game, though. I did enjoy it.
I'm on my third playthrough. I'll probably pick it up again when this new update comes out, which we'll talk about later. But before we get into that,
real quick, before you go to the next thing, because I don't think this is actually going to be mentioned anywhere on the article we're referencing for this, but because you mentioned kind of like how the show was kind of like this like massive ad for Game Pass. One thing I noticed, and I want to bring it up now just because you kind of talked about the whole show, but I also noticed that they're really pushing the One X, maybe because it's like the holiday season, they want people to buy it. But I remember around the E3 time that they weren't really like pushing that fact of like, hey, like One X is the best place to play console games. It's gonna look the best. And I felt like during this fan fest, like they were saying that like often, like, One X is like, this is where you want to play your game. There was even that Red Dead 2 like offhand comment from one of the hosts, so I thought that was like, it's like, okay, finally, like you're like putting it more forward, like, hey, like you want the best looking game, so you come over here. That was interesting.
Well, it's like I feel like all the reviews I saw for Red Dead was like, I mean, it looks good on PS4 Pro, but man, once you see it on Xbox One X, you really can't do anything else. So I mean that's just like objective fact. The Xbox One X is stronger than the PS4 Pro, so literally everywhere is going to say this is the best place to play it. So it's really good advertising for them. And I don't know. Seems like Sony can't even figure out their fucking name tag situation. I don't even fucking know.
Oh man, yeah, it's definitely interesting, man. And we'll definitely talk more about some of the more comments. There's definitely some other things I want to touch on, but we'll get to it at the end. So you can go ahead and move on to the next thing here.
All right, so they announced their Black Friday deal, and which was the best part of the show. I mean, the advertisement with Major Nelson was just perfect.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
But in that they said that all the Xbox One consoles will be dropping $100. So you can get the Xbox One X at $400, and this doesn't say what the One S is, but I assume that drops from 3 to 2. Is that how much it costs?
Yep, I think that's right. Yep.
Okay. And yeah, so there you go. They said they were going to be announcing more stuff going on later. The consoles, I believe, are on sale for a week. And I'm just waiting for them to tell me what games are going on Black Friday sale digitally so I can pick up a few that I've been wanting to play.
Yeah, they showed a few that were going to be 50% off, and then a couple that were going to be 35% off, but I'm sure they'll have a very nice concrete list closer to Black Friday.
Well, like the games they mentioned during that thing, they were like, oh, these games are like 35% off or 50% off. I was like, okay, but those are all Game Pass games. So at the end, are you just going to say, or you can get Xbox Game Pass? I was just waiting for that. It didn't drop. But, I mean, I think one of the more interesting things I read about Game Pass is that I think Xbox had said that State of Decay 2 sold way more than they were expecting because they knew it was going to Game Pass, but it still sold like gangbusters, according to them.
Right.
So they were surprised.
I mean, bro, right. Even Phil, when they had that like initial like small talk with him, right? He's like, our data shows the people who have Game Pass actually buy more games. He's like, even he was like, I know that doesn't really make sense, but you know, that's kind of what it shows.
Well, I think I don't know who said it, but someone else mentioned during the show. It's like having a system like Game Pass gives you access to way more things. I mean, much like a Netflix would.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Desiree and I don't know. I don't feel like I would have gotten into like Asian horror as hard as I did if it wasn't easily accessible for something I already paid for. You know,
right? True.
Or so it's like I got Sea of Thieves for free. I definitely wouldn't have bought that. You know, I got Save of Decay 2 for free. I wouldn't have gotten that.
Right.
So I don't know. I just thought that was
you
interesting.
You get to play a genre that you never played before, and you're like, oh, now I'm all interested. Let me go buy another similar game or something like that.
You know, it's almost like, I don't know. These games are almost free to play, to me at least, because I have the Game Pass. But you know, so I wouldn't mind throwing a few bucks at a game if I really enjoyed it. I don't think I have for any of these so far, but I don't know. Has State of Decay 2 had any paid for DLC?
Pay for DLCs. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I thought. Oh well.
Yeah, and real quick, those Game Pass ads, those are dope, man. Like I really like the Game Pass ads. So I was like, see, this is what you should have been doing all along. Like, it actually reminded me of like the Sony marketing, like how their marketing has like the real life people, and it's kind of cool and cheeky sometimes. So seeing that format with the Game Pass was kind of cool. I did like that.
And also showed that I'm glad that Microsoft is expanding their horizons a little bit because I saw a lot of similar characters in those audiences or in the Xbox Game Pass apps. But yeah, I thought those were well done. I didn't think anything was terrible about those Game Pass ads. I thought it was pretty cool. I did like how they revealed that PUBG was going to Game Pass, where it kind of like just the camera panned and showed a gas station or something that had the Xbox Game Pass
with the sign.
That was pretty cool. That was a smooth transition. I
did like that.
Even though I'm not a fan of the game.
I liked it. I mean, you got Blackout, so that's the point.
Okay.
All right, what we got next?
So now we can start going over some of the games and DLC releases that they talked about. So they announced the DLC coming to Forza Horizon 4. It's called Fortune Island, and it takes players on an all-new adventure in the remote northern reaches of the British Isles, where they will encounter extreme conditions including fierce lightning storms, perilous cliffside dirt roads, and sweeping paved mountain switchbacks under the mystical glow of the Aurora Borealis in search of hidden treasure. This doesn't mention it, but there was also like light. No, it did say lightning. Never mind. Forza players will also be able to drive all 5 of Ken Block's high-powered custom-built Ford vehicles from the upcoming Gymkhana 10, the 10th installment of the award-winning Gymkhana viral video franchise. I believe you're more familiar with that than I am.
Fuck yes.
Those will be rolling out to Car Pass members earlier this month. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as I say, man, both DLC mentions for Forza Horizon 4 are really cool. That Fortune Island, man, that looked incredible. The environments in that game already look good, so just to see that we have some new environments to play in with like thunderstorms and all new to Forza, the lightning and the Aurora Borealis and just all that, because the game already feels so immersive. So just having those new environments to just whip around in would be really cool, and then be able to drive around in Ken Block's vehicles. Ken Block, the expert fucking rally driver, and if you're watching the Gymkhana videos, man, all about Ken Block and all his vehicles and his just insane driving. So it'd be cool to whip those cars around and the new DLC. And then they partner real well because a lot of those environments they showed had a lot of winding roads, good for drifting. So very much perfect combo with the Gymkhana vehicles, and you watch those videos. It's all about the drifting and crazy driving. So you partner up with those DLCs combined, and I'm freaking excited, man. I don't know if I'll pick it up right away, but I'll definitely want to check it out at some point because it just looks good. I mean, that's it. It just looks awesome.
Yeah, so those Ken Block cars are available in the Car Pass. I don't know if you can buy those separately. And then Fortune Island will be part of the Forza Horizon expansions. I don't know how much those are individually. This one just says that you can buy 2 for the reduced cost of $34.99. So I assume the $20 each.
That sounds something like that could be about right. Yeah, $15 to $20 each.
And if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you can get 10% off a bundle or individual purchase.
Nice. Gotta love that Game Pass.
Okay. And the next thing, Minecraft. They were talking about the marketplace stuff. That's not something that I'm familiar with at all. It looked like they were bringing cars. People seem to be excited about that. And they're going to be bringing cats and pandas to Minecraft. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't really play Minecraft, but I did like the cats and pandas ad. That ad was actually pretty good. I did enjoy that ad.
People in the comments seem to be complaining that they have not said anything about the Super Mega graphics pack they had mentioned. I don't know if it was last E3 or E3 before.
Yeah, I think it wasn't it this E3 or the one before? Actually, I can't remember, but that's a good point though. Yeah, I haven't heard about that in a while. Kind of forgot about it, honestly.
That was supposed to be 4K Minecraft, right?
Minecraft world. What's that?
That was supposed to be 4K, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think 4K Minecraft. I don't know if it was a texture pack as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, interesting they didn't mention it here.
Yeah, so Minecraft continues to be Minecraft and make billions of dollars.
It's incredible, man. That game has been out for so long. People still love it. They still have that mega event turn up and grow in droves for Minecraft. I don't really play the game, but I mean, hey, it's cool to see a game that allows people to create. So that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Sea of Thieves is going to be releasing its 5th free content update called The Arena, which is an all-new competitive game mode that allows players to test their pirating skills in fast-paced matches against rival crews. Blah, blah, blah. Also includes a new tavern area together with a new trading company, the Sea Dogs, which will offer new goals, rewards, and opportunities to progress through Pirate Legend. So
I know you weren't. I mean, neither of us were really fans of Sea of Thieves. I don't think we only played maybe once, and I played quite a bit of the alpha, and I wasn't really happy with the release. But after you saw this DLC, what were your thoughts? Did it intrigue you a little bit and want to install Sea of Thieves or what?
So I guess my problem with Sea of Thieves is I played the beta and I really enjoyed it, but then we got the full game and it seemed like it was the same exact thing. So
pretty much,
I was like, what's the point of even playing this anymore? There's no new goals. There's no new songs. That bothered me a lot. That there's no new songs. Because I liked being the drunk guy on the ship that would just play bad music and sabotage the ship. I had fun doing that. But I already did that in beta, and I don't know, doing that again in the full release didn't seem as interesting to me. But I think the way we felt about Destiny is the way that I felt about Sea of Thieves. Okay, I could see the potential in this game. It has a good core gameplay, but it has nothing in it. So I'll just wait and I'll just see.
Empty shell. It
seems like they've had a few updates that people really enjoy, and then with this new one offering PvP finally, I don't know why that wasn't, or an actual PvP mode.
Right.
So I'm gonna install Sea of Thieves, and if we get a chance to play it, I'll play it. That's the way I feel about it right now. Yeah. But I'm telling you, AJ, if I go in there and there's no new songs, I'm uninstalling that bitch right there.
Oh man, I have a strong feeling that you might be uninstalling.
I guess I'm spoiled, right?
Because that's not on their list.
Because Black Flag, one of my favorite parts of the game was just finding the sea shanties and unlocking new songs for the ship. And, just riding around the ship and hearing songs.
Really good.
Yeah, they were, and I enjoyed that part of the game for some reason. That I don't know, that bothers me. Also, the console version didn't let me turn off motion blur or something, and that really bothered me too.
I agree. Those sea shanties, man. Even to this day, I'll still go up and on YouTube and pull up a couple. So it'd be cool if they added some more and just to kind of fill it out a little bit with a little bit more content. But I'm like you, man. It was pretty much like an empty shell, kind of like a Destiny's. Man, the potential here is massive. There's so much. You can create an incredible game but there's just no content. There's no good progression. Like I don't feel like I'm working towards anything worthwhile, you know. Um, but I will say that the PvP alone, because I feel like even when we played Sea of Thieves, we didn't really run into that many people very often. Like very seldom did we run into people. I don't know if that's changed since launch and that kind of thing, but that's just my experience from alpha and beta, and then at the beginning of launch, like I didn't really see that many people. But now you have this like kind of focused arena area where it's you're one of the main objectives is to fight over treasure. That adds a new level of gameplay that actually has me intrigued because it'll keep it more fast paced and upbeat, right? Because you can ride on open seas, go to locations, and you might get a little stale, but having that fast pace, like load the cannons like all the time because like there's people right there all the time. That high energy, a fear of losing all your shit, like just the chaoticness will be kind of interesting to see. It's interesting enough to make me want to install it and give it a shot. And since they don't have, I guess it's a pro and a con, right? Since they don't have that sort of like weapon progression where it's like, oh, you got a stronger cannon because you're level 50, that we can kind of still jump in and play those. So I guess that's kind of cool. But yeah, man, I'm interested. When was that releasing? The 2019 for that one?
This doesn't say. It just says early 2019. I think even
Oh
in
yeah,
there they
early
said that
2019. Okay.
they're doing their internal testing, then they're gonna have like their external internal testing, and then once they
Okay.
fix the game after that, then they're gonna be announcing it. So no rush. I mean, the game's on Game Pass anyways, and it's a free update.
I see us being.
So
I see this being like Destiny 1-1. Destiny 1 was for us. So Destiny 1 I did play at launch. I think I hit max level at the very beginning of launch when like the game first came out. Then never touched it again. But then they had that like ultimate game with, I'm not gonna call it game of the year, but that ultimate collection or whatever with everything in it. And that was cool. There's just a lot of content and we went through it all. And I see like Sea of Thieves being that kind of thing, right? Where it's like now that all this extra content is out, there's a little bit more there, some story, whatever. Then we'll jump in. We might be a year and a half late, but it'll be a fun experience.
it appears that messing with my mic, I messed up my mic again. So my audio is gonna.
Dang, those technical difficulties.
I know. I gotta stop doing that. I was adjusting the stand on loose, but apparently it disconnected the whole thing, and now it's all screwed up. So whatever.
All right, well, I can hear you, so hopefully everyone else can hear you.
Yeah, should be okay going forward. But yeah, I will download it and we'll try it, and I'm sure it'll. Well, we'll see. There was also the Forsaken Shores patch, which added a new environment and apparently more dangerous enemies. So, I mean, we
Yep.
might even be able to get into it now and have some fun with it.
Yeah, true that.
Okay, the next big announcement was State of Decay 2 will be getting a new free content pack to all players called the Zed Hunter. This pack adds the powerful and silent crossbow as well as adds the powerful and silent crossbow along with additional melee weapons, facilities, blood plague skills, and gameplay updates like the ability to respec your skills all into. I'm really confused by the wording of this paragraph. That's why I keep stopping. Anyway, so they had mentioned that there's going to be a few more consumables. I think they said a bunch, but I don't remember what they were exactly. And then the crossbow, which works like any other crossbow. It's silent, so it doesn't attract zombies. And then if break, you can pick them up from the zombies after you kill them. And then some melee weapons and a sword. They also mentioned at the end, watch out, because they have something coming in 2019. So.
Oh yeah, more challenging player experience. People have been asking for that, so we're going to see some sort of elite hardcore mode or something. So I guess get ready.
Yeah, and I think that's why I fell off on the third playthrough. Like the first playthrough was hard because I was still figuring things out. The second one I was figuring things out, but the third one the same problem that I had with like Stardew Valley is I figured it out. And I made it as efficient as possible. So like I started that map, I went to the first building, and then immediately got enough money to go to the mega building, and like
right, yep.
It was just at that point it was just a matter of clearing out all the hearts. So So I really enjoyed State of Decay 2. This might give me an opportunity to go check it out because man, amazing. But
and real quick, one key consumable I do remember them mentioning was like things like being able to see in the dark and stuff like that. So
okay.
I guess that's like some of the abilities that you might see, things similar to that when the update drops.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely be keeping my eye out on this. I think they had another DLC. I can't remember if it was paid or free. So
I feel like that other DLC was paid. I think this one's free. So interesting.
Okay. I can't remember. Did we talk into depth about Void Bastard?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. I don't super deep, but yeah, we kind of like the art style. You know, you of course you mentioned that's definitely your style of play. But yeah, we can you can kind of touch on it again because I know you seem like you're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, so it seems like the way the game looks, it looked kind of like FTL. It reminded me of an FTL because you're like a spaceship and you can like choose the path you want to go on, and then once you
Yeah.
choose a path, like you land there. I guess each is a ship, and then you're trying to collect supplies and continue going through, and that's just the vibe I got from it. And it just looks real cool. It has a lot of style in it, and as I think you mentioned before, it's made by the founders of Irrational Games, so
Yep.
expect some crazy shit. Yeah. I don't know. The strategy stuff seems really cool. The scavenging stuff seems really cool, and the art style looks really good. So I'm all in on Voidvast's third successfully since it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, so I mean, why not try it, right?
This is Battlefield 5, but I don't remember anything about Battlefield 5. I must have missed that.
Battlefield 5, was that just something that was like lightly touched on?
I feel like
I
that
don't,
might.
they didn't have any like special segment. Might have been a trailer or something like that thrown in somewhere, like a light mention.
I wonder if that was like, here's all the games that are getting like all the Xbox One X enhancement. They had Battlefield 5 in the background.
Oh, yeah, that might have been in there. That might have been in the One X enhancement like trailer. Yeah, good point. That makes sense because this article like touches on that. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I don't know why that's a whole paragraph to itself, but we'll keep moving along. Devil May Cry 5. So this opened up. I don't know. I thought it was kind of
Dope.
weird. Okay. Well, I guess I don't know. It's like two directors of Devil May Cry 5 have gone to Capcom's head office in Osaka, and we're showing off some of Devil May Cry 5, showing off some of the gauntlet weapons that Nero's going to be wearing, and they showed off
Yep.
the training mode called the Void.
The
Cool because it
Void.
gave you a lot of options for like unlimited devil, whatever they call it in this game,
Devil Breaker.
Devil Breaker, and then lets you different gauntlets. You can change so the enemy takes health or not. Did the enemy do anything? So it's for people to practice their combo so that they can get their stylish rating, whatever.
Dude, this game looks fucking good. Like, wow. I mean, every time I see the gameplay, I'm just like, damn. Like, this shit looks so fun. And it looks really good graphically. But that Void thing was cool. I like Devil May Cry series. I really like DMC especially, and this kind of has the same vibe of it, which is cool. So I guess that'll make it. Unfortunately, it's not a sequel to it, but at least it has the vibe, so it'll be fun in that respect. But it looks fast, it looks clean, looks good. The void mode will be good for me. Get some practice in because I'm not super good at getting high stylish rating. You know, I'm not like you playing on the highest fucking difficulty and stuff. But it's cool to have this mode to train and get better at it. So I thought that was a cool addition, especially to add the customizable settings to say like, oh, turn on enemy damage so I can see how much damage I actually do if I do this particular combo. And then all the other different filters, that stuff's gonna be cool to really try stuff out and experiment. So it's not one of those situations where it's like I'm just gonna keep using this because I know it works. Now I can just go try everything and be like, okay, I actually really like this and this. I'm gonna put these things, I'm gonna chain these things. So that's dope. That's cool. They added this void mode feature.
So every time I see a trailer for Devil May Cry 5, my heart breaks because I'm such a fan of DMC and felt okay about Devil May Cry 4. And so I expected to, and I know that there's a rumor of that, and then it got canceled. And now it looks like it's Devil May Cry 5, the sequel to 4, and it looks like it's going to star Nero, a character I wasn't a huge fan of, instead of Dante, the character that I played Devil May Cry games for. So, I mean, the game will probably be fine. I enjoyed the combat of 4.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Dante segments way more in 4, and so I guess that's what I'm worried about. I don't see it as like a Raiden versus Snake thing because Nero has a different style of play than Dante does, even if it's slight.
Right.
So we'll see. The Devil Breakers look cool though.
Yeah, they do. That has some cool. I like the effects on all of them. I like the different utility of all of them. So I think that'll be cool to have things for different situations. And yeah, man, it looks good. It looks promising. I'll put it that way. I'm eager to try it.
Every time I see gameplay of this, it makes me want to download DMC. I almost did it today. I should just.
I wouldn't blame you. That's a dope game. I do like DMC.
I beat the game on Heaven and Hell mode, which I think was your one hit, but everything else is one hit as well. Well, that was the hardest
Yeah, I
difficulty.
beat the game on normal.
The next
I didn't go anywhere
difficulty.
beyond that.
The next difficulty was Hell and Hell, which is your one hit, but then everything else in the game is regular health. I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this. That does not seem fun at all.
Now you're just torturing yourself, like at that point, it's like you're punishing yourself for life. Like I'm gonna, commit game suicide. I'm just gonna go in here and just torture myself painfully and work my way through this entire game. And who knows how many times I have to restart. But you know what though? You just made me think about something. I need to go on YouTube and type that in to see someone speed run that Hell in Hell mode, because that would be insane to watch.
I mean, and it's not like, I guess it's not one hit. Essentially, have like it makes it more of like one of those classic games where instead of like a health bar, you have like hearts, and so like you have 3 hearts. Those hearts you have to go back to checkpoint kind of things.
Okay, that's not too bad then. It's still bad, but I guess not as bad as it could be.
Yeah, that game I'm gonna download. I've been wanting to play a game like
Do
this.
it.
Isn't it free on Game Pass?
Is that on Game Pass? I know it used to be. I
think it's on
don't know
Game
if it's still
Pass.
there.
I should download it then. Almost.
There you go.
You're gonna think this is funny. I almost bought Nier yesterday.
Ah,
Don't know
interesting.
why. I have it
Yeah,
on
that's
PC.
actually really interesting. And it's actually not cheap on the Xbox, so that's very surprising that you were about to make that decision.
I was like, well,
That's
I
actually
have
what
this
stopped me. I
Xbox
was
One
like,
X. Let me see the power. I kind of want to play it here. I kind of don't want to stream it from my PC. Almost did it. What the fuck am I doing? I'm gonna
where are
buy.
you going? I mean, One X got some power, man. Let me tell you. One X has some power. Every time I load up Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm just like, damn! I'm like, jeez, like this game looks so good.
Well, the thing that stopped
But
me,
yeah, man, One X no joke.
the thing that stopped me was like, okay, on the PC version, the cutscenes are locked to 30 frames, which you obviously break with the mod. So I wouldn't want to play the Xbox version, and it's like locked to 30 for whatever fucking.
Ooh,
That's
true.
actually what stopped me
Okay.
from just play the mod version on
Fair
the PC
enough.
and get what.
Fair enough.
Alright, so I'll go download that. One of those games. The next thing they announced that there's going to be 2 additional fighters coming to Jump Force, and neither of those characters are any form of JoJo's, which I'm still butthurt about, because...
That'd be DLC. You have to pay for it. Just get ready.
So the
That's how it's gonna work.
2 characters they announced were Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Golden Free.
Yeah.
2 characters super.
Not much to say here.
So I knew that Goku's version was called Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I didn't realize Vegeta's was as well. I thought his was called Super. I guess that might shorthand.
Well, so like I guess the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan is like the official terminology, but both of them go under like the moniker Super Saiyan Blue, because that's just easier to say than repeatedly saying Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Super
technically that's
Saiyan
what it
God,
is. They
Super
go-
Saiyan sounds so badass.
Because that's technically what it is, right? Like they go Super Saiyan God, which is that kind of red form, and then they go Super Saiyan on top of that. So that's kind of what it is, but it's just it's like Super Saiyan Blue. Keep it easy and
But I don't
keep it
think
moving.
Vegeta goes Super Saiyan God in the manga.
Does he ever go Super Saiyan God?
I know he does in the Broly. Well,
No, I
okay, that
think
might be
he
spoilers.
skips
but
that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he does skip Super Saiyan God, but that's not unusual, right? Like he just does that kind of shit. He can just like skip the shit and be strong as hell. So he's just a G like that. But yeah, man, Jump Force looks good. I'm glad they're adding more Dragon Ball Z characters. I'm pretty sure they know that Dragon Ball characters will push units. So that's smart to add. One of the most well-known animes across the whole world is Dragon Ball. So it's smart to keep adding those characters in, and I'm sure you'll get your JoJo's in a DLC, man. Like that's the thing with this game, right? Like the DLC potential is insane, right? You have the whole Jump roster. You can pull from anything and make DLC characters from any series from Shonen Jump. So I mean, the potential is insane.
yeah, just
Go ahead and buy the season pass, and you'll get your JoJo's.
okay. I feel like at this point, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe JoJo's is not.
Man, if you were wrong this whole time, that would actually be pretty funny.
No,
I
it
don't
is.
watch
It's
JoJo's, I
in
don't
Weekly
know anything about
Shonen Jump
JoJo's.
from '87 to 2004,
Okay.
and then moved Ultra Jump in 2005.
Well, there you go. DLC, like I said.
I can't tell if this is the same company, but it was at some point Shonen. Whatever. They look cool. I like Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Okay. Just Cause 4 is it's Just Cause 4. Looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks insane. One, I didn't know the game looked that good, and the physics look pretty insane. I didn't play Just Cause 3. Watching that trailer made me want to play it. Just Cause is one of those series where it's like I want to play it, but I definitely usually wait for the sales. And I need to play Just Cause 3. Just Cause 4 is like one of the first ones that actually looks like it's worth the full purchase, just because it looks, it's kind of like I think Major Nelson said, that each title, it just gets more insane. And this one, like the dude's car surfing through a tornado, like that is the most insane shit ever. So this might be worth a full price purchase, man. But I mean, it looks good. I mean, they didn't really talk about too much new stuff. They're just kind of showcasing things that we already know about. They're just adding more gameplay, and then of course mentioning how good it's going to look on the One X. So cool little featurette thing, kind of showing off more of the game with a little nice CGI trailer to kind of get you, I guess, excited for the story. But yeah, man, I thought it looked good. I might pick this up at some point.
When I saw the first trailer for Just Cause 4, I was like, man, they put all their money into tornado physics and technology, and every single trailer we've seen since confirms that they really did put all their money into fucking tornado technology.
The resource dump into that tornado technology must have been insane. I can't imagine how long that took. But I mean, it pays off, right? Because it looks pretty sick. Like, stuff's getting pulled up. Got a nice cyclone physics. We'll see if it's worth it. It seems like it is.
And if it's people didn't seem super excited about Just Cause 3, so if the tornado is enough to get people into it looks good though. And yeah, as you were saying, it definitely looked crisper in today's video than I feel like it has in the trailer.
Yeah, it really did. I was impressed.
And that's the power of the Xbox One X. I don't know.
Yeah, it caught my attention. I'm not gonna lie, like because before it wasn't on my radar. Like I thought it just looked, like, oh, that's cool, Just Cause. But after today's, I was like, oh. Just Cause, like, all right, I might have to look out for this one.
The next game on this list, Kingdom Hearts 3 had one of their signature no sound effects, music, and voices, but leveled weird, so it sounded off trailers.
They love that for some reason. I don't know why Square likes that, but they do.
Anyway, they showed off that Winnie the Pooh is in fact returning, and in the Pooh 100 Acre Wood, you are going to be doing puzzles, and showed more of the same-ish videos that they've been showing before, showing some Big Hero 6, Tangled, Pirates of the Caribbean, and they showed some stuff as well.
Yep. And they had some other clips with like organization and stuff like that. Story bits that I'm not familiar with because I'm not versed in the entire Kingdom Hearts lore. But I mean, the game looks good though. The game looks phenomenal. I'll definitely will play it, even if I don't know what the hell is going on. It'll just be fun to play because, like the guy who's like one of the hosts said, like the game just feels good. I'm sure it feels good. So I'll just play it off of that factor alone, and it'll just be a good time.
So I actually watched a video telling me the entire Kingdom Hearts storyline, because like the first two games were PS2, and then there's one for the DS, one for the was it for the?
Yeah, you're right. Oh, there's a Game Boy Advance one, Chain Memories.
Chain Memories. What's called. Then they had the 3DS one, be 58 over 2 days, and the PSP dropped its.
Birth by Sleep is PSP one.
Dream Drop Disc.
Oh no, Nintendo DS. Regular Nintendo DS I think was 358 by 2 days. Then PSP was Birth by Sleep. Dream Drop Distance was a 3DS one.
See, I can't even keep it straight.
Yep. There you go.
Okay. So, in order for me to catch up on the story of Kingdom Hearts, I watched a 36-minute story summary by Suggestive Gaming, which I highly suggest you watch because I really enjoyed that video. But holy shit!
But my question is,
36 minutes.
Are you informed? When you watched this trailer, did you go, oh shit? Are you an informed Kingdom Hearts lore person now?
Not at all. Not at all. And it's not
too much.
Suggestive Gaming's fault. They did a very good job of explaining all of the things. And I went, oh, that's why people were like, whoa, when they saw the trailer, because this character disappeared during the events of the PSP game, but you first found out about her in the 3DS. It's like, how the fuck are you supposed to keep up with this fucking... So anyways, that's my little shout out there. I did enjoy the video. Suggestive Gaming, 36 minutes.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out for sure. Probably at some point before release.
36. That's so.
That is insane. You need that much time to explain the story. But I mean, hey, look, we're finally getting a console entry, and I'm just excited about that fact, and I know it'll be a fun game to play. So, real quick, in that trailer, did you notice that moment? Remember Kingdom Hearts 2, that 1,000 Heartless fight? It looks like we're getting another one of those in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's going to be dope as hell to see in 1X. Thousand Heartless fight, Kingdom Hearts 3. That's gonna be so dope because that's one of my favorite moments in Kingdom Hearts 2 doing that Thousand Heartless fight. Man, that was badass.
So if you watch those videos, they talk about the which was in
Okay.
like the or whatever, and so that would make sense going forward. That's like a key component. Because I think even in the I don't know if it was like the first trailer they had of Kingdom or in the post credits for Kingdom Hearts that they showed off like all the keyblades on the ground. Oh my God, are we about to have a
That was
keyblade war?
post credits. Let me see if I can remember this. Post credits of Final Mix. That sounds something like that's right.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 3 Final Mix. Maybe that's somewhere in there. I think that Keyblade War shit. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I don't know if this is just me projecting, but the phrasing they had during some of those segments, I felt like they were gonna Kingdom Hearts come into Xbox, like all the original one, but it did not
Oh, that was just a tease.
happen.
That was just a tease, man. That pissed me off. No, I mean, I will be honest though. When I found out that he was there, I was like, that was my first thought. I was like, oh shit. Like, is this really about to happen? Because I was gonna shit my pants. You know what I mean? Like, because like I've wanted that so bad to get, because I want to replay those games, but I just don't. I mean, I have a PS4, but it's just I don't know. I like playing my One X. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, me too.
I was like, man, I just want those games to come so I can kind of have the whole series on one console, and just lead right into it. And I get achievements all on this one console. And so I thought for a second, like, whoa, dude, the exec producer's here. Like, this is about to happen. Especially when he did that thing at the end where it's like, oh, I got something else I want to say. I was like, oh my God, like, yo, this is about to go down. And then he went on to Final Fantasy, which is still cool, but yeah, no original titles on the Xbox for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's so funny that I complain about that, and I think, all the Kingdom Hearts on PlayStation. I have Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix and 2.5 Remix, which comes with Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memory, 358 over 2 days, 2 Final
Yep.
Mix, Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and Recoded. That must be a phone game.
Recoded was the phone game.
Okay.
Yep.
We even missed one talking about it. Yeah, well, while you had mentioned that, let's just continue on to that. They announced that Kingdom Hearts, or not Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy will be coming to back compat.
Yeah, yeah.
And they also announced that Civ Rev, Civilization Revolution, will be getting a 1X update or enhanced
Pretty
update.
cool.
Did you finish any of the 13?
Uh, no, actually, I don't think I actually fully finished 13. I did really enjoy it because it was so linear, and it just made it easier to get through.
That's so funny that you
I
say
know a
that
lot of
because
people
of
did,
everybody else.
because everyone hates it for that, right? Yeah, but not me because sometimes I like linear stuff. Like, I don't always want to explore a 200-hour world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't always want to be like, oh God, like I gotta play this game for 80 hours, 100 hours to really get the full experience. Like sometimes I just want to be handheld through a story and just like watch the narrative play out. So when 13 was that way, I was like, oh, like this is cool. Like I don't have to do too much exploring. Like I'm just kind of walking through and because I like cinematic experiences, right? Like everyone trashed the Order 1886, but I love the Order 1886. I'm sure there's people who probably would never play Sora's Wrath, but I love Sora's Wrath. You know what I'm saying? That game's nothing but QTE, but it was so cinematic. I'm like, I'm on board. So that's just kind of guy, man. I can appreciate both. I can appreciate those linear narratives, and also I can appreciate the Witchers and the Red Dead. So, I never did finish 13. I got pretty close to the end, but I don't think I ever completed it. And then I never played 13-2 or Lightning Returns, which they've always looked good. I liked Lightning as a character, and I liked some of the supporting characters, but I just never kept going with it. But now it's on backwards compat, and I think it's 1X enhanced. Maybe I might revisit it.
Yeah, I need to play 13 too because I hear that that's probably the best one out of the trilogy,
Yep.
and it looks cool. And I've played the demo of it, and thought it was really fun. I think my big problem with 13, because I did try playing it again and stopped. It's that I think it sucks because I know that like 10 hours in, the game world does open up a bit, and
Yep, it is.
that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to I wanted to get to that part so I could do a lot of those side missions, which is what I really wanted to do, and I burned out of the game before I even got to that point. On my second playthrough, I did beat the game when it was first released. But yeah, it's just like I think part of it was like I just have to get through the grind to get to that point. I think that was really frustrating
Right.
for me playing 13. I've been playing. I played every Final Fantasy game 7 on, and then I've gone back to play 4. And so it's like all
Okay.
those different games, like they had bigger sections that opened up, but then would close again, and then would open up
Right.
again. Kind of like Dark Souls, I guess, where it's like, oh, you have two options, and then but then you have to go through this next part to get to the next part, and then it opens up again.
Right.
Yeah, 13 just felt like it was too long going one path. I think that's what burned me
Yeah.
out on it.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
But the combat in
and
it was interesting. I just wish I had more agency over my player. Or
I definitely like the
party.
cinematicness of the combat. That's one thing I really appreciate. The visuals just looked really good. Like especially at that time when it first came out, I was like, damn, like this game looks so good. And so I really like the cinematicness of the combat. I really appreciated that. So maybe one day I'll go back and play it again. But yeah, man, it's cool that's coming. Like I'm always, anything that's backwards compatible up. But speaking of Final Fantasy, we got what's 7, 9, 10, and 10-2 coming 2019.
12 as
I know
well.
that was news before. Yeah, 12 too. I know this was announced before, but they just kind of reiterated it. Just want to touch there. And it's just cool that all these games are coming to the Xbox for the first time as well.
How many different systems am I about Final Fantasy 7 on?
I mean, you might as well do it, man. Get it on one more.
It's funny. I called my parents today, and I was telling my dad about the PlayStation Classic that's coming out. He's like, "Does it have Final Fantasy 7? I always wanted to beat that game." I was like, "Oh, it sure does." And he's like, "Did you ever beat that game?" I was like, "I've beaten that game a few times."
That's crazy.
I really
I've
enjoyed it.
never finished that game. I've never finished it.
Um,
Like even because I owned it. I owned it in PS1 days, but it was just so intimidating. I mean, how many discs did that thing come on? It was like what 4 discs in that package or something like that. It was
3?
it was just too much. I just could never
4,
finish it.
4. Yeah, that was a mega box, 4 discs.
This is a massive game. Could never finish it. It was cool. I just could never complete it. I'm pretty sure I still have that game somewhere in my parents' attic. I have to pull it out one day just for nostalgia to look at and be like, oh, I never finished this massive game.
It's funny because I considered buying it on the Switch. What am I doing? I have it on the PlayStation.
Dang,
I have it on the
another system.
PC. Why am I gonna get this on? I want to get one.
Get on the Switch, then get on the Xbox.
I want to get one RPG for my Switch, and I don't know which one to get.
Why don't you get one of those like exclusive, like Octa Traveler or something that's more exclusive to Switch?
I guess because I was thinking about it. Like I want to get one
Or
RPG for
Xenoblade
Switch.
Chronicles or something. Is that Switch?
I think that's on Switch. I was
Yeah.
torn between Octopath, World of Final Fantasy, or Dragon Quest. I want one
Okay.
because I know if I buy 2, I'm not gonna play one of them. I just haven't decided yet. I'm also gonna wait and see if Black Friday pops anything up, but
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know. Nintendo doesn't like putting shit on sale, so you might be shit out of luck.
that is also true. I almost bit the bullet on
Yep.
World of Final Fantasy. I don't know. Just like, man, what if I don't like it? What if it's too simple? Like how I've been feeling about Pokemon Let's Go Eevee leading up to its release. Like,
Well, you got some tough decisions, man. You gotta think on that.
because Switch games are not cheap. They will not be cheap, like ever.
Never. I mean, you can go look at what some of these old Nintendo titles, and they're still expensive as hell. So nothing ever goes on sale, even though it's old.
All right, well, let's.
But anyway, what we got next? What we
Let's
got?
let's continue on. So they discuss more details about the next DLC coming out for Shadow of the Tomb Raider called The Forge.
Ooh.
And the cool thing about this game is you can play co-op with her friend Abby, and you can journey together through the fiery tower of the Forge.
So cool, man. Like, I've played both Tomb Raiders, the reboot Tomb Raider and then Rise of the Tomb Raider. I've not played Shadow yet, but the fact that you can play co-op in a challenge tomb is so dope. That is a cool idea, and I hope that it has like a lot of cool co-op puzzles in there because that'll just be really interesting.
I did download Rise. That was one of the bunch of games that I bought or downloaded on Game Pass the other day.
Rise is so good, man.
Yeah,
Such a good game. I really enjoyed Rise.
I'm
So good, man.
especially excited to see what it looks like on the X. I heard that one looks.
Oh,
really
you're
good
in
on
for
the
a
X.
treat. You are in for a treat, my friend. And wink and a nod. You get a 4K TV this Black Friday. You'll be even in for more of a treat.
I don't know about that one. I just had to fix my car. I don't know if a brand new TV is on the. On
Just
the horizon.
saying. Because right now you don't know shit about 4K. But I promise you, the moment that you fucking load up something like Rise or Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll be like, Jesus Christ, what have I been missing?
I told you I want a 4K
You'd be
HDR
like,
monitor with FreeSync and 144 hertz, and I don't know if I can get that
Well,
for $20,000.
you don't even play on that much. You're always playing on your other TV, right? So I mean, it's pointless anyway. You don't need that right now. You get a regular 4K TV. There you go.
So we'll see.
Yeah, what we got next? What's
Next
up? Keep moving.
is they had talked about the keyboard mouse support, and that will be coming next week.
Cool.
The Fortnite, Warframe, Bomber Crew, Deep Rock Galactic Strange Brigade, Vermintide 2, War Thunder, X-Morph Defense, Children of Morta, Daisy, Minion Master, Moonlighter, Vigor, Warface, and Wargroove will all be getting keyboard mouse support either today, or either in November, or coming in the future.
Yeah, I'm all about this, bro. This is cool. This is adding keyboard mouse support, just more ways to play, especially for games that will benefit from it. Like, I think that's awesome.
They also announced that Razer was going to be an exclusive partner, and they will be shipping a Xbox design mouse and keyboard. But I doubt you. Yeah, you do not need to official Xbox mouse and keyboard. But
Yep, you can use your own USB enabled stuff, so you're good there.
did they say that like it's going to be like an LED keyboard and it'll like have your health bar on there? I feel like someone said that.
Yeah, so they did. So the Razer, the official partner of Razer Xbox keyboard and mouse will have that dynamic lighting feature where, it'll be. I'm assuming it's going to be like full RGB lighting on there, and then the developers can kind of take advantage of that and use that for in-game cues. The example that they used was for Vermintide 2. They said the developers are implementing a feature where when one of your partners goes down, that your keyboard will flash red, indicating, hey, you got a down teammate. So, yeah, features like that are cool, man. So that dynamic lighting will just kind of, I think, enhance the gameplay. I think it could be used on a lot of different things, and I wish that feature could be implemented outside of just keyboard and mouse. I'd really like to see it in like a LED strip system as well. Like I think that'd be cool if I could like plug up an LED strip and the game could recognize it and I could use it that way. I mean, I know that's asking for a lot, but it'd be cool if I can get that like dynamic lighting outside of just mouse and keyboard for controller users. But it's still dope. I think that'll be a cool feature to have just as an extra, as an extra reason, I guess, to get that Razer branded Xbox keyboard and mouse. So cool feature.
They also mentioned the Fortnite devs had mentioned specifically that in their game it will be put input-based matchmaking, so controller users, I believe that they won't be paired up against keyboard mouse users.
Precisely. So they have a system which is so smart. This is genius. They have a system that detects your input method, and then they match you up accordingly. So for anyone who is afraid, like, holy shit, like I'm fighting a mouse user with a controller, like I'm gonna get destroyed. Yeah, you absolutely would get destroyed. So they're making sure that they're keeping it fair and have input-based matchmaking. So controller users, you will only fight other controller users. Fortnite, and I'm sure a lot of other games will probably implement that for any game that has a PvP competitive matchmaking. And just to add to that too, yep. And just to kind of round that out, for that Xbox keyboard and mouse, I see looks like it'll be formally introduced because they did not show what it looks like at all here, but they said they're going to formally introduce it at CES in January 2019. So look out for that.
I feel like I've been getting more and more excited about CES over the last couple of years than I have ever.
Well, I feel like, man, the tech for everything's advancing, and I feel like there's just more reason to tune in. There's so many people doing so many cool things with gaming, because now you have a lot of VR stuff that usually comes, AR and VR stuff that usually comes to CES. And you have your TV and viewing products like of that nature. So I feel like like you said, every year it's just more cool tech, more independent companies working on all this interesting stuff. So it's CES definitely getting bigger, man. I think more people are definitely tuning in and being aware of the tech trends and the upcoming tech curves and stuff that's a little bit further out, but still exciting.
I think it's the Internet of Things that really gets me hooked into CES. Crazy shit like a water bottle that sends how much water you drink to your phone, which I feel like I've seen that in this. It's just crazy shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tuned into CES for.
Right.
Or the TV that they had like rolled up and put in a poster tube or whatever.
See, that's my bread and butter, man. See, I'm a TV guy, so I tune in to CES every year because I want to see what companies doing with TVs because I love TVs and because I'm a big movie watcher. Of course, I play games on the TV, so I'm a little bit of a videophile. So yeah, that's my reason for tuning in. So it's just kind of extra cherry on top when stuff like gaming related and cool other tech stuff shows up.
Yeah, so maybe we should do an episode. Maybe we should do an episode after CES so we could talk about easy shit. Actually,
I'm down.
Be down to do that.
Let's plan it. You heard it here, guys.
Yeah,
Come and drop CES.
This podcast is still going on by then.
All right, we got next one.
All right, so the next one is the next two are shorter announcement. Through them pretty quickly. The Xbox Adaptive Controller, which gives lots of different types of gamers the ability to play video games, is launching in 17 new markets in 2019, including Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, China, Colombia, Hong Kong, Hungary, Israel, Japan, Slovakia, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Taiwan, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates. Whew, I believe I pronounced those all correctly. So there you go. So more people are going to be able to get the adaptive controller, which I think is one of the coolest things that Microsoft has done in their trying to get outreach more gamers was the adaptive.
Yeah, that I'm fully on board with that, man. That's cool that Microsoft is making that initiative to allow people with any type of, physical disability to be able to play all these great games that are coming out. Games are, one of the most, I think probably what the most popular entertainment, medium at this point. So it's cool that no matter what sort of disability that you have, that you'll be able to participate and join in with the community, your friends, and family, be able to play these games. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad it's coming out to more territories, and people be able to create more companies be able to create more gadgets and things to add to those to really allow people to to play these great games. Awesome.
Okay, and the next one is their hashtag Give with Xbox, which is going to be a this podcast has been going kind of long. I don't know if I can read anymore.
It's a long one.
Hashtag
If you're still
Give.
listening, thanks for sticking with us.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hashtag Give with Xbox is a holiday timed campaign from Xbox that aims to bring the joy of gaming to everyone. Beginning today and ending December 9th, Xbox will donate $5 of Xbox products, up to $1 million, for every photo shared on social media about what gaming together means using the hashtag Give with Xbox. These donations will be split among 4 charities, including Child's Play, Gamers Outreach, Special Effect, and Operation Supply Drop. Cool. I'm down with that. Sure I can
I'm
do
down
that.
with it too.
I will upload my photo at some time before December 9th.
All right, what we got last, for instance, here?
The last announcement is probably my favorite announcement of everything so far today.
It's one of the hypest ones, man. For us 360 bets, man. It's one of the hypest right now.
Xbox announced they're going to have Winter of Arcade, which
Oh man,
is like I guess their new iteration
back,
of the Summer
baby.
of Arcade.
it's back, baby.
From December 6th
Yeah,
through
pretty
December
much.
12th, we will be providing special incentives on select ID at Xbox titles to help you fill out your library. Tune in to the Game Awards on December 6th live on Mixer for more info. Man, Winter of Arcade.
Awesome. That's so cool, man. Yeah, unfortunately they didn't announce any games that will be in that lineup of Into Arcade. So we have to watch, Game Awards, which Game Awards they kind of have, so many different reveals and of new stuff. So it makes sense. But I'm just excited that they're bringing out all their root stuff, man. Like, I missed that like Summer of Arcade sort of promotion where they really highlighted these indie titles on the dashboard and kind of gave you incentive for actually buying them and giving you one free at the end of it. So this is dope, man. I'm glad this is back. Great way to push a lot of great indie titles and show off. Some of these games are just made by 1 or 2 people. So it's cool that they'll be highlighting these and kind of giving you an incentive to support these games. And I'm excited for the return, man. Hopefully they keep this promotion going, and we'll get a Summer of Arcade as well in 2019. That'd be dope.
Let me list a few of Summer of Arcade titles. So these were ID at Xbox titles that got heavily promoted during Summer of Arcade. Some of the critically acclaimed popular ones: Braid, Castle Crashers, Explosion Man,
Yes.
Trials HD, the best
There it is.
Castlevania game, Castlevania Harmony of Despair. Don't at me.
Oh my God. Where's BC at on that? Please,
I
come on,
know.
Microsoft. Konami, like give it to us, man. Gosh.
Lara Croft and the Guardian of Life, Limbo, Bastion from Dust, Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, Dust and Elysian Tale, Racketeer, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. That's not all of them. That's not even all the best ones that caught my
But
eye.
man, those are all some great games.
I forgot Harmony of Despair was a Summer of Arcade title.
Oh, dude. I hate that I even just remembered it now. I hate you even brought it up because now I'm gonna be sad that it's still not a backwards compat title. Man, for anyone who has not played Harmony of Despair, I'm almost tempted to recommend you just go get a 360 and play that game because God, that is a cool game. Man, we put some hours into that game, grinding and farming to get abilities and weapons. Oh man.
Some of those items I never got,
Good
even though I farmed the
nights.
same level like 100 sometimes.
But did you ever get a Monway?
Hell, well, one.
I got two of them.
I got one.
Yeah, I got two of those bad boys. Man, there's actually still levels we never even beat. Remember that DLC level? I think it was like the Super Nintendo inspired one. Man, we never even finished that level. It was so
Yeah,
difficult.
those games were hard.
But
That game was hard.
mhm.
So Metacritic has it as a 67. Um, yeah, I guess not a lot of critics did not seem to enjoy it. I guess I can understand it.
Well,
It
you
was
know
really
what?
grindy, but
It is grindy. God, that game,
I
we
don't know.
played the same level repeatedly.
Thought it was fun.
It was, man. If that game ever comes to backwards compat will officially be complete.
I wonder if that game is how many players can you play locally?
Locally, that was a pretty. Was that like a 5 or 6 player game or something like that?
Players? I don't know.
Oh, eight?
Might have been
Jeez,
five.
man. We could fit the whole crew in that game. We need that on backwards compat.
And according to this, 4 players split screen or 4 player local because it's all one shared screen.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
need a decent sized screen.
Makes sense.
We can see the whole map. Yeah, so Castlevania Harmony Despair was a 4 player co-op Castlevania game, which was essentially bite-sized versions of some of the games and some of the levels and some of the more familiar bosses.
Yeah, cool game, man. Well, after hearing that list again gets me excited for arcade because what that means to me is that the whatever lineup is in this winter of arcade, these titles must have inspired them to want to bring it back. So there must be some good titles in there, and I'm eager to see what the Game Awards is going to show.
I'm sure the expectations for this are high, so you're probably
Yeah,
up.
yeah. They wouldn't have got it that hype. Like, yo, when arcade is back, they wouldn't do that unless it was like, yo, we got some killer titles in this, and then to save it for game. Like, bro, think about this: saving the winner of arcade for Game Awards caliber announcement. Like, you don't just show anything at Game Awards because everyone's watching this shit. So, like, that's some good stuff. So I
Right?
think that wraps up all
Yeah,
the actual main news. So
I
I
believe
think
so.
overall, let's do like a wrap up. Any like final comments? Anything you want to touch on that we didn't mention? Yeah, I'll let you go first.
I know it sounds like I'm an Xbox fanboy, not, but I really liked Microsoft's offering. I like the way they presented it. I felt like it was good balance, corny game showing,
Yep.
and a little on the nose of the Game Pass ads, what they're selling now.
Yep.
But overall, I thought it was or whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man. This definitely felt like a for the fans type of show. I mean, of course, it's a fan event, so it definitely evoked that like this is for the fans. And the announcements were good. Of course, I didn't expect anything massive going into this, but I was still satisfied with everything that was shown, from Game Pass to studio announcements. I feel like Microsoft is making all the right moves. I'm definitely a Xbox fanboy for sure. Now I don't, I'll call them on their mistakes, but I definitely really enjoy the platform, and it's just gotten better, and you could tell that they're kind of trying to reclaim their seat as the best place to play, and that we're seeing the groundwork of that. They're building the foundations, so moving forward, and man, I gotta tell you, man, Sony should definitely be a little scared because I think going into this next gen, this Scarlet gen, it's gonna be like some serious competition. Like, it's not gonna be as lopsided as when Xbox One PS4 first came out. That kind of like lopsided where everyone was getting PS4. It was a really bad thing, like that bad start with Xbox One. I feel like that's gone, and the image is definitely not tarnished as much anymore. So, Scarlet generation will be definitely Microsoft's definitely fighting to reclaim that crown. A couple things I wanted to point out, man. Before we close it out, when Phil Spencer was talking, there's two things that he said in his interview that he had with one of the hosts. Two things that I thought can easily be overlooked, but that I think are meaningful statements. The first one, of course, deals with Xbox and power, right? So of course they dropped the One X, and they were pushing that a lot during this, saying this is the most powerful console in the world, it's the best place to play, and he made this offhanded comment, kind of saying like we're gonna. He specifically said like he's going through like the hardware catalog, right? It's like, yeah, we got the One X, most powerful console in the world, and we're gonna continue that in the future. So that lets me know that Scarlet is gonna be a monster. Like, One X is already a monster, but that lets me know that Scarlet must be a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? And that's just so crazy to think that these consoles are ramping at this speed of power. Like, man, native 4K already, and now Scarlet will be stronger. It's like, I don't know. I'm just hyped to see what level of power we're going to be talking and what that means for future game titles. And the second thing he mentioned was their commitment to Windows. That was cool. So he kind of, mentioned, improving the store experience and kind of improving Windows as a platform to play the same games as the Xbox and have those be kind of unified. I think that's really cool because, if you have the capability to play some of these games on your laptop or your desktop, especially with the Play Anywhere feature, it's just another way to play and be able to move your game around, because maybe you're playing on the TV and then maybe for some reason you need to travel, you need to go do something else, you have your laptop or whatever, eventually the cloud will come, you mentioned that, and you'll be able to just play on anything and bounce around. It's such a cool thing, and it's cool they're kind of going to go for this unified thing where Xbox will exist across multiple things, but it'll still be Xbox, and I don't know. Everything's exciting, man. Microsoft, Phil Smith are doing a great job. I love Phil, man, and it was cool when the crowd started chanting Phil like crazy. I was all about it.
Yeah. I think this podcast has gone on long
He's
enough.
speechless.
My brain
He's speechless,
kinda
guys. His brain's just like, I can't even believe, man. Microsoft's just they're gaining too much power. He's speechless.
Yeah.
It's too much power, man. You're gonna have the strongest console, then you got all these studios kind of coming to bat. It's a scary combination. Gonna be some good shit.
Like I'm trying to think of like what could be a potential downfall. They have Microsoft money. I don't see any.
The only potential downfall, man, is if they make dumb games.
That is true.
And I'm, these are great studios. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they won't make dumb games. It's still definitely possible that they make a stupid game. But let's just hope that they won't, and it'll all be high caliber, unique, interesting titles, right?
The only one I'd be worried about is 340. That's like the only one that could potentially fall on it.
There's the potential for that, but after seeing Halo Infinite, even though we don't even know what it is completely, I do have some level of confidence that like they listen to the community who was like, because I enjoyed Halo 5, but I know there's a lot of people who didn't, and it seems like they listened and was like, okay, let's rethink this a little bit. So that alone, that they just didn't go Halo 6, lets me know that they're paying attention. So there's a better chance for them to do something good just because of the pure fact that we're not getting a Halo 6 and something else different. So let's hope that something different is a good thing. But we'll save that for another podcast. Like I said, this podcast has gone on long enough. Great podcast, though. If you made it this far, you are fucking awesome. Thanks for listening to us, and we hope that you enjoyed the Xbox Fan Fest. We did. And leave some comments if you guys like. What are your thoughts? Did you like the conference? Well, I'm not gonna call it conference. Did you like the show? Did you like the special? Was there anything in particular? Was your favorite thing? Was there anything that you didn't like? What do you think the future holds for Microsoft? All that good stuff. Let's all discuss in the comments. But yeah, man. At least for me, thanks for joining us, Matt. Anything else you want to add? You want to close us out?
Yeah. Uncommon drops. Thank you for listening to us.
Peace out, everybody.